RagnaroK. Creator, Bunny. Dark. Cure. Round of 10. Group B. Africa TV, Freak Up Studios, live. 2022, GSL Season 2.
Thanks for waiting, everybody. We're back. We're ready to go into this final best of 3. Bunny versus RagnaroK. Now, normally I would look at this matchup and I wouldn't be that interested. But I think for this season, for this round of 10, it's actually a really interesting one.
Yeah, and it's actually important still. This is for ranking, right? If RagnaroK ends up winning this, so hold on, if he 2-0s, he gets second place. So he goes to the winner's match as opposed to the loser's match. So that's a big deal. That's a big deal.
Dude, if you could skip just one phase from round of 6 to round of 4, you would take that,
You have to win one last best of 5 against another one of the world's best players.
Yeah, no, please let me avoid that. Again, Bunny was stuck in Spain, got COVID at DreamHack, had to, Korea doesn't let you back in if you test positive, so he was stuck there. And we were worried he might not make it back. We might have to just like give him losses and have a really short, weird day at the studio where we cast 3 best of 3s. But he did end up testing negative. He's recovered. He got on a plane. He landed yesterday afternoon. Came in, tried to rest up. He's here. And dude, so far, he's looking pretty good as a player. I'm very impressed.
He looked very strong against Kira.
Sure.
Now, that being said, RagnaroK is a little bit stronger right now, and TVZ is quite a different matchup, right? So let's see how he can do.
Hardwire, Curious Minds, and 2,000 Atmospheres are going to be our 3 maps to close out the round of 10. Yeah, man, I just want to hop into this game, Artosis. How about you?
Yeah, let's get it done, man. Let's see what the final standings are. Who is going to be playing who in that round of 6?
All right, guys, this is Bunny versus RagnaroK, a best of 3 to close out the round of 10.
I came for war.
Team NV, Bunny. Alpha X, RagnaroK.
We are having a gas and pool first. We've seen this a lot from RagnaroK. Well, we've seen more offensive hatches than pool first, but he has done a lot of pool first as well.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily
so this is, but it's more out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
But RagnaroK has always been one of these Zerg players that kind of marches to the, marches to his own beat, so to speak.
They actually have quite a close record against each other, don't they? Yeah, I guess actually when you think about it, they kind of both were lower ranked GSL players for a kind of similar amount of time, and then both kind of have been rising more lately.
Yeah, well, you know, it was true for Creator, but I think it's true for all these guys where, you know, they've been putting, you know, we don't want to say the hours in, but really the years in. And it does, you know, you see it pay off later on. And these are the guys that I think both of them have been just such big improvements from, you know, 4 or 5 years ago as an example.
Well, certainly that is the case. Sometimes it just takes people different amounts of time, you know?
Yeah.
Like, the speed with which you get it, right? I feel like that's mostly what people are talking about when they talk about talent. It's like some people just understand right away how to play StarCraft and do well at it.
It seems like in some cases, yeah, some people it clicks just right away, or at least compared to their peers.
Yeah. Like the way they're interpreting it is closer to what works well than how someone else's maybe, and like things just seem to come more naturally. We call it talent or whatever. But you know, the thing is, you can still achieve these great heights, and we see like these guys are rising, and it's taken like a really long time, whereas some other players just rise up immediately and are like royal roaders and stuff.
Yeah, no, it's
But
crazy.
Yeah.
I always find it the most interesting to go back to either the early days of StarCraft 2 or the early days of StarCraft 1 and kind of look at the pool of players. Like, these are, you know, a lot of times very, very brilliant, almost savant level people. But, okay, so the Ling Rush has been shut down. I'll actually save my thoughts for a little bit later. I'm like,
Well, he gets 3 SCVs, forced lost mining time. I mean, it's decent what he did there.
yeah. Yeah, well, with the Hellion out, he can't get up any higher. But basically, I was just saying, like, you know, it's kind of crazy when you look back at these people that were able to compete at a high level when we barely understood the game at all. And maybe they used weird tech trees or build orders, but, you know, they kind of they were on to something at the time.
Sure.
But those are almost never the people that are around much later on.
They literally never are.
Yeah.
Like, I think the longest standing pro from the beginning of a game, like being the best at basically the beginning or very close to the beginning till later on, was Boxer. And that guy was a workhorse.
Yeah.
He actually stayed relevant and getting high in tournaments until like 2005.
Yeah, he had a run for a couple of years where he was still pretty much on top from, I think that's the beginnings all the way until you had kind of that era of macro fast expand players that kind of came out and moved ahead. And these are people that basically knew how to like always get a second or even a third base.
Yeah.
And not die at anything, which was sort of unheard of at the time.
Yeah.
When you started, and you know, it looks kind of obvious now in like StarCraft 2 because, and I think StarCraft 2 is a more exaggerated version of even what's happened in Brood War because since Blizzard decided at the time to make more workers at the start, it sort of sped up the whole process. And I think in some ways simplified some of the early game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, at the time, and you know, we saw this happen early on in StarCraft 2 at the start as well, when people really started to be like, no, this is when you always get your third base. And if you put this building here and make these 3 units and watch out for these 4 things, you will never lose your third base.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, and if they do anything, you won't die and you'll be ahead later on, at worst.
Yeah, I mean, different rushes come out, different timing attacks that can punish that. The evolution of the meta. But, I guess we got there. I was trying to think, like, how do we even get into this? But I think just via talking about, like, it has taken these guys a lot longer to get up to this really high level where they're actually contenders.
These are the guys that did not come naturally to.
Yeah.
Is I guess what we were trying to get to go full, you know, big picture with it. Is that, like, these are the guys that we're always working hard and we're, you know, kind of imitating their peers in order to kind of stay in. I mean, there was a period where GSL was round of 64.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
And then for a long time, round of 32. But they were, so these were the guys that were like kind of afloat, but we're not, you know, moving into the round of 8 or the round of 4. But here they are now, and I mean, they're in such good form.
Indeed. And, you know, one final thing I think as well, like, I think the naturally talented people, a lot of people like kind of idolize them a bit more, but in a lot of ways I like these types of players that just kept with it. You know, they're not like dumb or anything. It's just, it's different how they've achieved their goals, and it's
the perseverance is there.
It's very laudable, I think. Hey, Muta's flying out now. Lots of turrets going up. Hellion's just kind of running away. The Banshee as well, flying off in a different direction. And it seems like he's delayed these Mutas just enough to get all of his turrets finished. Look at that. 4 turrets finishing up. Just catches them with the Marines just enough. Very well done by Bunny, delaying those out. But Baneling's speed is done, and he's going 1-1. I've seen RagnaroK do this type of style. Normally he goes pretty heavily on the Mutas when he plays like this. And I actually think he's quite a good Ling Bane Muta macro player.
Yeah.
So even though he hasn't gotten damage yet, like, he's going to be pretty darn active with these, and I think he's gonna find ways in. He's gonna find things to do. But wow, Bunny is doing a great job repelling them, isn't he?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. You know, these Mutas have barely gotten any value at all. And the thing with Mutas is you kind of need to start to get value out of them right away, right? It's not a unit that you make and then you sit on. Anybody you see that makes Mutas and then doesn't, you know, move around the map with them and try to do stuff is probably going to Win to lose.
Yeah, they're active units. You got to keep them active. They're all about their mobility. All right, gets a couple SCVs. Takes a lot of damage on a Muta there, though. You can't be trading a Muta for 2 SCVs, so got to get a little bit better than what he's doing. Okay, gets another. RagnaroK taking another base, so he is going up to 5. See if he's able to hold that. Drilling Claws on the way. His 1-1 is, it's not that far off. Really important for him to equalize those upgrades as well.
And, I mean, you know, even though we've seen a little bit of these skirmishes, it's overall been a pretty passive game, to be honest. A lot of caution aired on both sides, really.
Chasing him back for now. Just starting the first Muta upgrade. Still producing a lot of Mutas as well.
And it looks like we're getting close to the moment where Terran might want to start to push out. 1-1's going to be finishing here.
Yeah, there's a Thor coming up, and of course Drilling Claws. So I think those are a couple important things. And honestly, I don't think you actually push until 2-2 is done, and that's going to be a beautiful timing for him.
Yeah.
Like, that's when he's going to be at his absolute strongest.
Oh. All right.
Yeah,
so
look at this. He's going to be up 2 upgrades. He's going to be basically maxed out against maxed out. He's going to have a Thor mixed in there, a good amount of mines, good amount of Marauders. The time is almost here. As that 2-2 is finishing, we need to see Bunny push.
This is one of those builds where it's like the 4th is very late, but basically you've powered on 3 bases for an insanely long period of time. There's not a lot of targets to hit either, which is one thing to note here. For the Zerg, it's like there's not a lot of weak spots to hit because there's not a lot of like area on the map to hit until just recently, right? Mm-hmm. And Terran's basically ready to push, but at the same time, the Zerg has built out this Ling Beta, Ling Muta Beta.
These Ling Betas, what are they doing?
Dude, I went Ling Beta, and then I'm like, there's got to be a 3rd unit. Like, what's it called? So Ling Muta Bane army, and so they're both ready for a fight. But are these Beta-lings?
Oh my God! No, those were Alphalings.
Those are
right
Alphalings for sure.
That was a Beta Planetary.
It was
right
a
there,
Beta. It was a total Beta Planetary.
SCVs.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bunny, I mean, he's got that 2-2 we were talking about. He's starting to push out. Oh my God, the Banelings just roll down the ramp and kill everything. My God, okay. Bunny still has, excuse me, a reasonable supply here.
Yeah, oh, look at the spreading here for Bunny from the Bunster. Gonna back up. Sees too many Banes are gonna hatch there.
92 drones for RagnaroK. He's getting into Baneling mode. He's got 18 Mutas flying around, just picking off what he can. Other than that, let's put that money into Banelings.
Mm-hmm. Not Beta-lings.
No, you don't want
no
any
Beta Cucklings, man.
No, none of those, man. Oh my God. That's what slow Zerglings are.
Yeah, he's not able to really get in there. A lot of patience exhibited here by Bunny. I wonder if it'd be a good idea for Bunny to just try to push up into the center right here. I do feel like RagnaroK has kind of been able to run amok with the map.
Yeah, he's kept very good control. Oh, look at this. The Lings and Banes just flow upon those Marauders, get rid of them immediately. Nice lift off there against the Ling counterattack. Pulls his SCVs away as well. Oh, Muta's coming for a counter. Takes care of that sensor tower so that he can't be reacted to so quickly. And Bunny just can't really get his attack together.
Yeah, I feel like he's been ready to fight for a while, but he just isn't finding anything.
Well, there's been good counters, and the Banelings just roll down the hill and like reduce his army, and he's pulling back. And
you know, RagnaroK's kind of everywhere. He's sort of run away with this game. It doesn't mean that Terran can't win, but like Terran is not even really able to take a fight. The moment that Terran tries to get to a position, the Lings and Banes have usually run around him. In fact, that looked like it was going to be one of the most direct attacks so far from RagnaroK, but he pulls away when he realizes it's not a small chunk of the army, but in fact the entirety of the army. Now, eventually Zerg does have to actually confront the Terran threat, right? The thing is, if you drag the game out long enough, you've backed up so much larva, you have so much gas to spend, you can make throngs of Banes after throngs of Banes.
That's what he's doing. He's going for the ultimate throng. Like, I think he has like 100 banelings right now.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
I want to see the actual unit count, because I know it's crazy. 83 banelings! 83! This is getting to the number where you just attack, move it at the back of your opponent's base.
Okay.
So inefficient. It can't happen. It can't
It's like,
be
what
worse.
about Marauders?
And here come more.
I've got Kerrigan's credit card. I don't care.
It's one of those ones made out of metal.
Kerrigan, I need the 3 back numbers of the card. Well,
okay, these are the worst Baneling connections like ever. The counterattack and
I feel like RagnaroK played the perfect game until about a minute ago, where this is completely falling apart.
Well, hold on, Tasteless. Why don't we just make like another 60 Banes?
Okay. Go on.
Yeah. No, that's it. Link counterattack coming down here. Might kill that. Oh my god, that command center actually blew up. All right, here come more Banes. Does he have enough Banes this time? Looks like yes. Man, RagnaroK, like, there's been some bad trades, but it still looks very, very good for him. Now, Ghosts are coming out and Ultras are coming out, so maybe you can see Bunny start to get very efficient here. I feel like he may need to stop attacking, which is what we've seen a lot of the other top Terrans doing.
Yeah, blows up the planetary there. Keep in mind that, Terran does not have a whole lot of bases to work with here. So when you see one of those white, it's very different from what's happening with the Zerg. The Zerg is literally running out of spots to take on the map. So the income...
Everyone's got their own problems.
Yes. I'm like, you guys think you have problems? Well, this is a trust fund Zerg.
Yeah. There's 45
He'll never know what
Banes.
it's like to work for his own money. How about that? There's a problem for you.
He just more 45 more Banes, making 4 Ultras, getting Burrow, getting Ultra Speed. Mutants come in, deny mining here. Is that a Marauder tank army? That's okay, we got Banelings. Are those Ghosts? No problem, Banelings. Mines? Banelings.
Well, we're finally seeing the full effect of the Zerg's lead so far here. Yeah, that's it. GG. RagnaroK with honestly a very masterful ZVT. I mean, Bunny had plans, but RagnaroK basically danced around them.
Yeah, he did.
Anytime that Bunny thought he was going to take a fight, RagnaroK would immediately pull away and look for a different target. Whether he finds it or not isn't important. What's important is that Bunny's not getting to engage. And at the same time, Bunny, one of the scary things about going for a heavy 3-base play and then like a kind of a slow 4th later on is like any of those bases that gets hit in a counterattack, you feel it. It's not like the Terrans losing a 5th or a 6th base. You go, okay, well, I mean, my income's still working. We'll put that fire out when we get there.
Well, RagnaroK countered him just perfectly, too, as that 2-2 was done, and Bunny should have been ready for a timing push.
Yeah.
And RagnaroK just counters, gets rid of that 4th, and things got out of hand.
Curious minds. That's Artosis and me. Wondering what this game 2 is going to look like.
Oh, wow, yeah.
All right, guys.
2,000 atmospheres. That's how much pressure they're not feeling because this game doesn't matter.
I came for war.
Team NV, Bunny. Alpha X, RagnaroK.
So pool first again.
Yeah.
Let's not forget how game 1 actually started out here. It was a bunch of links forcing the command center to lift off.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't imagine it does that again, though, right?
No, he's not getting gas this time.
That would be too ooga booga.
Yeah, this seems to be just like maybe an anti-proxy barracks build.
Could be.
Honestly, I think that's a great read. I was actually thinking in that last game, I'm like, if I was Bunny and I lost this game and thus can't move into second place, I would just double proxy racks or triple proxy racks next. And RagnaroK may have thought that as well, because it's like, yeah, I mean, you can win this game or lose this game, but it, like, there's the difference in the pride of a win and, you know, your Aligulac score or whatever and your stats, I guess, but the amount of games that these guys have played, like, this is one of the less meaningful games for Bunny.
Okay, so SCV going to come up here now. What? Oh, I thought the game crashed.
And this particular one, like, if you don't scout the SCV, the Lings can run around, and if the Reaper shows up at the Zerg base, you can sometimes force a cancel on that
But
CC.
did he fraction off some of those Lings in time to make it not clear that there was how many Lings there actually
Yeah,
were?
he's only seen 2.
But he probably just knows.
As soon as you see 2, you're like, okay, the Reaper can stay at home. You don't need anything else.
Just in case he's going to go over here to catch the Reaper if it were to come.
Well, command center coming up. Factory as well as a reactor here.
Yeah, man. Let's see if RagnaroK goes for Ling Muta Bane again. This map is definitely a different one. I feel like it's a little bit harder on the last map to kind of get to where you want to go. This map's a little bit more open.
Yeah, a little bit closer together, it feels like, as well, a lot of these bases. So maybe a Ling Bane Hydra. Shall see. Hellions on the way. Starport as well, before any third command center, so Bunny gonna be putting some sort of pressure on.
So we've got that Roach Warren here.
Marauder. So this should be a Hellbat Marauder push.
Yeah, well, can we say we're that surprised?
No.
I mean, I think with, you know, and this is one of the new things about this format in GSL is some rounds are important, and then in this case, this round's not, just by the way the thing went. Just come out with a build that's sort of like, I don't know, it either hits him or it doesn't.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You're kind of flipping coins a little bit
Yeah.
here. You're not looking to outplay him, you're looking to catch him.
Yeah, looking to get him.
And the thing is, I think RagnaroK has read the overall intentions very well, because he opened pool first, which is safe, and now he's gone into roaches at a great time. Like, our Hellbat's going to do anything when your opponent has a bunch of queens and a bunch of roaches? No.
So in this case, it's actually going to be the roaches coming out first, which is kind of funny. Does the Viking see this?
Yes.
Yes.
Flies right by. All right, if he can get a bunker up. I mean, Marauders in a bunker never cared about a roach.
No, not in a million years.
Yeah, he's going to be completely fine at the top of this ramp.
What's funny is, like, all he had to do was stay home. He didn't know the attack was coming to him.
Yeah.
He actually brought it. So maybe this actually works out better for Bunny. Keep in mind that there's concussive shells, so, like, you actually can't escape with a lot of these roaches. He should just grab those Marauders and boost them over and drop them again to get the concussive shells off.
That would have been nice. All right, I think he can turn him into Hellbats now. Targeting down that medevac. Run that away. Okay. Well, you know what? This is doing some fantastic work. Those roaches all being picked off on the way home. Really, really painful for him.
Okay, maybe this actually works.
Yeah.
Oh, RagnaroK, you had the hubris to try to attack across the map. Little did you know it was actually Marauder Hellbat.
Pretty much if it was anything else, he would have been all right, I think.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. He walked into the jaws of the beast there. Looks like, is Zerg gonna barely hold here? Seems like it.
And he actually only lost 4 drones. Viking gonna get away, I love it.
I'm out of here.
Bring me with you.
Okay. Where does this put us now? It's 40 workers to 43. Zerg certainly suffered losses, and that includes queens that are going to have to be remade. Stim's done. I don't know what Terran has back at his base.
Well, I don't think he has a whole lot. He is adding a ton of production right now. Look at that. That Viking has 10 kills.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
So behind the Zerger's going to just drone up very, very quickly.
Yeah, a couple of Evos going down here as well. And I guess he's going to go Roach Ravager, right? Seems to make sense here. Like plus range, plus carapace. All right, third command going to come over here and land for Bunny.
So one thing about doing the Hellbat Hellion pushes is that you've invested in 2 units that then you can't use after the little attack is done. I mean, Marauders are always kind of good to have 1 or 2 in there, but you eventually need to go back into Marine, so you never have high numbers of that. And it's one of the it's kind of the double-edged. That's not even a double-edged sword is a good example. It's one of the problems of doing the Hellbat push is if you don't do an overwhelming amount of damage, the Zerg does have time to recover.
Yeah.
Because there isn't this follow-up, there isn't the alley-oop to the push.
No, you're not like, oh, thank God I have an armory already, and thus Hellbat tech and concussive shells right now. Oh, wait, I'm not going to make any more Marauders for
You're
a
not
long
like,
time.
you know what? Thor drops now. That's the next thing coming here. It doesn't kind of pair with anything that's going to come later on.
Yeah. Bunny pushing forward with a couple tanks, as he is wont to do.
So the question now is how effective is this push going to be? RagnaroK playing a very different game. Roach Ravager Bane is going to be his strategy here of looking for a fight.
That's what he uses against Protoss.
Yeah.
Why not against Terran? Actually, a lot of the strongest strategies did that, where they just jumped matchups.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Lingbane Hydra. That jumped matchups, right? Like, and just got used completely and was super dominant in both ZVP and CVT. So why not?
Why not? Medevac's going to be coming through here. Now, it's hard to surprise him, but of course, this isn't mutaplay, right? So it's not like the Zerg can just run around and shut this down.
Yeah. You just fly right over it. Only has to watch out for queens and spores at this point. Okay, a little drop into the natural. Let's see what he can get done here. It's a good clump of Marines there. Really nice
positioning is actually really good.
Yeah.
Good surround here.
A couple more medevacs boosting. One unloads in the main. The other 2 at this new base. Ooh, this is going to do a lot of damage, it looks like. The Roach Ravager comes here, so what's in the main then?
Nothing. Now, even though the harass is doing some okay damage, the honest truth is if you look at the mini-map, this kind of looks like game 1. Like, Zerg's still growing healthily. Terran's powering up on the 3 bases. Obviously, without mutas in play, the Terran has more free range to at least try to initiate attacks in different parts of the map. But at the same time, we see that 4th base about to land here for Terran. When that big push is going to come, is the Zerg going to be ready? Keep in mind, this is not, since with Mutiling Bane, you can kind of run around him and hit weak spots. This is more of a kind of smashing army, a battle Zerg army.
That's for sure. You got to get like a very nice engagement or run into a position where they can't really out-micro you, anything like that.
Right.
Don't want to see too much splash damage to your tanks.
Oh! Might have been better to actually not attack that and just fire the biles. Okay, 9 more Banes are coming here. Zerg is nearly maxed out, which means it's almost time for the Zerg to attack.
Push this back and kill off a couple of units here. Venge for that creep. The Queen going over to lay some more tumors. Bunny being very active with his drops. Look at that. Drops like 2 Marines, gets out of there. Another medevac going towards that main, but too much defense already. A few Vipers coming out. It's interesting to see this weird kind of unit composition that RagnaroK has put together and have it just go into Hive. And now suddenly we're adding Vipers, getting an Ultralisk Cavern, and it almost feels like a modified strategy from the beginning of Legacy of the Void.
Yeah, it does a little bit.
Yeah, like the Ravager Lingish type comps into Ultra. That was very popular for a little bit, about 5-6 years ago.
So Zerg now reaches up into the top right.
Yeah,
Terran
sixth
again.
Base.
Sorry, Artosis, go ahead.
The 6th base for him, right? So 4 against 6 here shortly, but Bunny is starting to push.
Yeah, now the question is, can Bunny actually take any of these bases out? No bases on this map are really close to the Terran. It's good to note. Everything's kind of tucked away. The minerals are always pointed on the other side of the map, so you can't really harass workers. Here we go, though. Huge attack comes in.
Tries the EMP, but blinding clouds go absolutely everywhere,
man.
and he is just slaughtering at the moment.
And there's still so many Banes here. It feels like there's one Bane for every other Terran unit left on the screen.
Yeah, you might be right about that. The Roach Bane chasing these ghosts back right now, going towards the tank in this 3rd base mineral line.
And, you know, it's hard to imagine Bunny kind of recouping from here. It looks like these shots are a little bit staggered from the Ravagers, so like...
That tank, man, is so manly. Look at that. The bunker as well, adding a lot of damage. That siege tank is such a hero, it's crazy.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. You know, you can use 3 corrosive bile shots to kill a tank, but you need to fire them all in unison. Or over time, the SCVs can just repair them, and that's what we saw happen back there. So,
Clutch hold.
yeah, and honestly, kind of a clumsy closer there from RagnaroK. I think had he killed that tank, he would have killed the bunker and probably forced a liftoff.
Yeah.
I think Terran still survives that regardless, but you know, what's most important is that most of the tanks have been killed, which should allow the next wave from RagnaroK to come in without having to soak that much splash damage from the tanks.
Now RagnaroK running around with a serious amount of Zerglings right now, splitting them off into 2 different groups. Has to be careful though. One mine hit could just decimate this army.
Okay, cleans that up. Marauders now coming in. Not a bad harass at all. But Ultras are in the mix as well. The Terran is on 5 bases. The only base Terran can take after this is the 6th, which is, by the way, the only vacant base on the map.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's not a whole lot to work with. This is one of the more constrictive maps in that sense.
Yeah, yeah. Should maybe point out why Bunny wanted to play it here.
Yeah.
Oh man, a couple blinding clouds coming down. The Banelings come in and kill one planetary.
Oh, he's gonna save it!
Wow, saving that one.
That's
is
actually
absolutely
big.
Beautiful.
That's really big.
Very, very nice.
Because that planetary is gonna cover the command center.
By the way, I want to point out that the unit composition that Bunny is focusing on right now, oh god, that is a lot of Zerglings coming in. Surround the tanks immediately, but the planetary,
you know,
as well as the bio, pushes it back.
It's a little sloppy. A little slip slop.
A little bit. So just real quick about this unit composition. Siege tank Ghost is not something that we see very often. The last time I recall seeing it was right before Bjorn went to the military. He had a little revival where he was playing really, really well.
Yeah.
And he was actually using some tank Ghost type play against Zerg, which was really kind of fascinating to see. Just like lots of tank siege up and utilizing the snipe, of course. Don't know if he's going to like continue to do that. That might just be what he's doing right now because he needs the tanks defensively, and obviously you have to go for Ghosts. But just kind of cool to see that pop up.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see if he can make it work.
Yeah, it
right
seems
now.
like he's switching out of tanks at this point, though. Oh, no, there's another tank, but a Thor as well.
So he needs to, RagnaroK needs to either take out 12 o'clock or take out 9 o'clock here. But also important to note, RagnaroK is expanding now into the bottom left.
You know,
I feel like
he could just focus on denying that and he's fine.
Yeah, he just needs to deny one of the spots.
Yeah.
He does deny.
Because I don't think he can really attack the cross right now. Look at these blinding clouds. Oh my god. Look at the amount of banelings. These ghosts can't even do
Yeah.
anything. Just crazy.
Yeah, and I think the gameplay for here on out is to basically swoop in and obliterate everything, force the buildings to lift off, go back, make more, and do it again. And basically keep this about the Terran and not about the Zerg, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Keep this about Terran trying to stay in the game and not about Zerg defending bases. If you can leverage this position, you are going to probably win this out. Now, the dilemma here for the Zerg is that the Zerg needs to get some kind of a finisher. Like, let's say they take out 12 o'clock and then take out 9 o'clock, right? Something where it's too hard for the Terran to come back, and because we could get into a game where the Zerg attacks in and just trades out unfavorably over and over.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of those, actually.
Yeah. It's becoming, a big theme in TVZ, and it seems like, especially Mario, but other Terrans as well, have occasionally just relied on, like, well, I can't kill them, but they also can't kill me, and they're going to spend more trying to kill me.
Yeah.
So maybe we should just kind of math it out that way.
I think that's a great way to approach late game TVZ right now. Definitely makes for longer games, but sometimes that's the right play. Now, here he comes once again. Brings in a lot of Corruptors this time. Nice EMPs go down, so not as many Blinding Clouds, but a little bit of help there. The Banelings just absurd in number once again.
Ridiculous looking right now.
Thor actually putting in some serious work here as well.
So it looks like RagnaroK's continuing to do what we were talking about, right? Now this is 111 supply to 170. And keep in mind, Zerg is going to be maxing out in under a minute here, just powering back up. Now, one critique, and we just caught it on camera, is like, RagnaroK's not actually mining from that bottom left base, but the CC can't land at it either.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to go too far, but like maybe he doesn't want to mine from there because you can just drop it and harass it. I don't know. But, the fact of the matter is the Terran is just now mining off of 4 bases and trying to get a 5th over and over and over.
Just trying to re-land there right now, and just Ling Corruptor comes right in.
RagnaroK,
and ruins that party.
Yeah, some of these attacks, though, it's like you actually need to have Banes here.
Well, I mean, his money is not what it once was.
True.
Little attack coming down to try to kill that bottom left. I think he's just going to give it up, it looks like. Units started to move towards it and then turned around. He knew, couldn't quite get there in time.
So this does free up the bottom left. This is not going to go unnoticed. This is one of these games where like it's hard to have a base that somebody has that they don't know about. It's basically impossible at pro level. Like both players are completely cognizant of the entire map.
Yeah. I think only really 4-player maps, and we're seeing that ever happen on right now.
Yeah, I think so. All right, so he's going to try to fish him back over here into the tank fire again.
Nice micro here from Bunny. He is building his supply back up. RagnaroK having a hard time fully maxing.
Yeah.
He'll get there, though.
Queens are coming in here.
Nice pick off. Bailey's loses a ghost.
I feel like he should just fully pull back. I don't know how long you want to just take free damage.
Ooh, Parasitic Bomb so good in this situation.
Yeah.
Really want to see him repair. Ooh, 11 Broodlords morphing, but there are multiple Thors being made as well as ghosts, and this is one of the ways that we do see the Turtle Terrans end up winning is if you overcommit with the broods.
So, a couple thoughts. I think the Broodlords would have been good a little bit earlier. I think after he forced it to lift the first time. I think he basically tried to run underneath the CC too many times in a row. Oh boy.
Tries to dive on the hatchery, doesn't get it. Worst case scenario.
All right, a lot of these tanks going down could make some openings here for these Banes. Where's the Overseer? I guess he doesn't have one.
All right, some of them coming up now. All right, good defense overall. This bottom left, unable to get rid of it right now. Does have a lot of drones down there. That has to be a top priority, right? Like, obviously, top priority is not losing one of your bases, but then you really do have to end one of the corner bases. And this one seems to be the obvious one. Goes after the drones first. All right, nice pick off. Pathogen glands coming up, as well as +1 air.
And how many minerals are actually at the center left base? Do you know?
Oh, it's low, man.
It's gotta
He's
be
lost
super
half the
low.
patches there already, yeah.
So, I think, honestly, because also the third base is almost mined out. I think it's almost mathematically impossible for Terran to win this.
You think so?
Yeah. Do you disagree? I feel like Zerg has still got enough minerals at the 2 upper right bases.
Well, I definitely think that right now RagnaroK is favored, but the actual compositions that we have, we could see like a massively favorable trade towards Bunny, because there's like a lot of Broodlords, and I saw him add like 7 more Corruptors as well.
Yeah.
Right, so Thor Ghost can beat that stuff if it moves forward too far. I think this decides it right here.
All right, let's see. This is a very clumped army up here.
Those blinding clouds.
It's looking pretty good for these Banes.
Yeah, the Bane's getting in on top of absolutely everything. My
Whoa.
God.
Oh my God, and there's so much more to boot still. The planetary is going to go down.
Okay, he's going to clear the broods, right? Like, there's nothing, there's no anti-air here.
Yeah. But again, Terran's just not really mining, man.
Yeah, his
Look at the
income is
income.
very poor.
It's about 700 minerals-ish to 450-ish gas. Zerg just has more. Like, this counterattack, you could try. You could try Artosis, but I mean, I would just imagine the Zerg could simply make Zerglings alone and kind of overpower it.
Yeah, it might be the case. Well, there's not that much in the bank, and if you look at army supply, it's actually not that different, although it's more efficient army supply for Zerg.
Well, he's going to get 5 Ultras. He's got Queens
Yeah, that's
to
scary.
transfuse. Terran,
Yeah, I don't think Bunny really has much left in the tank.
yeah, I think this was a masterful play of the map here from RagnaroK. I think he really...
Remember this started with that roach attack that got just bopped because he went way across the map and concussive shell marauders like wrecked? Remember that?
Yeah.
That's how we started. Just throwing that out there.
I was there.
No, you
Not in spirit, Jason. All right, another huge attack comes in, this time with Corruptors here to combat the air. Lings and Banes clean up the ground. The last Thor falls.
Yeah, it doesn't even bother picking them up at this point. Vikings trying to fight against these Corruptors. Everything got to be on fire. Bunny with nothing left over. RagnaroK gonna finish this off 2-0.
This is over. Bunny is done, man. The few units he has are holed up back in his main, or natural, I guess you should say. There's an idle ghost town expansion here in the bottom left. It's not being used. Still enough minerals to soak up here on the map, as well as enough gas for RagnaroK to make this I think a very easy closer.
Yeah.
All that RagnaroK has to do is wait for that command center to land again and try to take another fight. And it's easy enough to just defend this bottom left location so that it can't be mined from. So I think we're basically going to see Bunny run out of steam
Yeah.
and kind of fizzle up and die.
He's got 16 workers. He's like, just, there's no real income coming. Those
Yeah.
deals will help, but that's never going to be enough.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he can do.
I think right now RagnaroK is just working up his supply. Oh, that was the slowest turning tank turret ever. But yeah, I think RagnaroK here just works up his supply, Gets what he thinks, crushes it easily, and goes.
Look at this. He's even just going to send a hatchery over here. The drones had to draw straws for that. I'm a little bit stunned that this many mules have landed and he didn't attack in right now. Kind of feels like this is the only moment to do it. If there was any way that Bunny could come back now, it's if mules just keep landing on this base. And
Yeah,
I think
he
sometimes
sucks it dry.
I feel like RagnaroK doesn't realize how ahead he is.
That could be. I mean, games like this can get a little bit confusing. You know, your
We've all been
opponent's
there.
trading way more efficiently and everything. Look at these Corruptors. It's like a pure Marauder army. The Corruptors
Yeah.
just come in and kill the Medivacs. No chance.
Yeah, I feel like what he needs to do is just take everything that he has, like almost literally, and just send it to the bottom left. This is actually kind of crazy to me. He has enough gas to make Banes.
Yeah.
Blow up, it's a planetary, right? At the bottom left, or is it an orbital?
I believe it's just an orbital. Oh, it is a planetary. Never mind.
Apology accepted.
Well, it's even easier to kill then.
Yeah, just make Banes and blow it up.
Yeah.
This is actually wild to me, because I think Bunny might... maybe not. It's what, 140 supply to 98?
Yeah, he's making a bunch of broods now too. So wherever he wants to attack, I think it's going to be difficult to hold. But look at the army supply.
Yeah.
It's not that different.
86 to 95. You know, I'll put this out here right now. It's possible that RagnaroK attacks the bottom left, screws it up, and then this game goes on and Bunny maybe wins.
That is possible.
That is possible. I thought we were kind of past that.
Well, it looked like Bunny was dead. He was sitting on like 70 supply for a long time there.
Yeah.
And that's just not very much.
So, I mean, this is a lot of resources taken up here.
He's getting burrow, 28-minute burrow research. That's going to change it.
Well, I'll tell you, man, if you could start to burrow at these bases that, you know, if they get lifted off again, man, force away one mule. So a couple Marines are going to come up here and try to get something done. They will not get much done. So slowly, Terran's crawling back into this. By the way, guys, on the mini-map, all the bases are mined out, except for this one that we're looking at right now that Zerg has.
Yeah, yeah. And
So,
of course, bottom left.
I might be wrong, but man, I feel like this was almost over until it wasn't.
Well, I respect trying to get to a point where you feel like you can't lose, but it did feel like he had an opportunity for a little bit to finish Bunny.
Yeah, I mean, 100% he did.
But the thing is that I keep looking at, like, don't look at the actual supply, look at the army supply. It's the same.
Sure.
And when that's like highly microvolt Terran units versus attack moving Zerg units, you get very efficient. More Vikings.
So much gas here for the Zerg, man.
Oh my god.
Oh, dude.
That can be a game changer right there.
Okay, so he's just gonna leave this over here. Next time the army comes up, it's gonna be go fungal yourself. All right, so he has a lot of gas to sink into Banes.
Do you think with like the way the game is where it's getting very low on resources, are Banes the right way to go?
I don't know. I mean, if you want to win a fight, but then again, if you have enough Corruptors, you can shoot down the Medivacs. Yeah, maybe. I guess the thing is, you know, if the Banes come in and then they connect on to, like, you know, Marauders and stuff, and it's not efficient. I'm kind of stunned we're at this state. This is, like, really exciting.
Yeah.
So he's going to chase him away. How many games do we have where the whole map is actually mined out? It's almost never happened. We get it to where they have one base left, but
yeah, a lot of
Mined
times there'll be something that they're fighting over, and whoever wins it kind of wins. But yeah, I mean, sometimes PvZ and TvZ.
so now Terran's making tanks because I think Terran's decided it's probably about time to push.
You think? I don't think he'll push. I think going on creep is the one way 100%.
Yeah,
you
no,
can
you're
lose.
right. That was actually dumb of me to say. No, he wouldn't push here.
Ah, that's what the tank is for.
Yeah.
I love it.
Now, I don't even think it matters if he loses that many drones here. He has so many drones. Yeah.
There's not many minerals left, honestly.
Yeah.
But picking off anything right now is super valuable.
What am I watching?
The most efficient stuff you've ever seen. Those drones want those minerals so bad.
All right, get him!
Okay, clears that out.
By the way, Terran is very much more upgraded air-wise. Zerg's just got +1 air attack.
I don't think these Marauders can kill all the drones before they get all the minerals.
I was wondering that, man.
There's so many pads.
Maybe you want your supply freed up anyways. Well, there's almost no more minerals to mine from in the game, by the way.
No one's going to max out, man.
Yeah, they literally can't.
What you see is what you get. I think Bunny's going to take this straight up.
I think so. This doesn't feel right, though. This feels like he had it and then he didn't. Like RagnaroK, that is.
Well, that is oftentimes the way in StarCraft, isn't it? Hard game.
I am so confused as to why he didn't try to take a fight at the bottom left. It's like he had the game, the Terran was mined out. Terran's like, well, I'll land here and land mules, and Zerg's like, whoa, 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 man, you're the boss. Don't hurt me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Did you say mules? I'm sorry. I mean, this is crazy.
Yeah. RagnaroK, I think at this point, right, he's got no more money. He can't kill Bunny.
I think there's no way with
Like,
all the splash damage.
I think literally we're almost out of minerals on the map when Bunny finishes bottom left. He's got like a handful of things that could hit a floating building.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of Vikings here, man.
He's going to go for it. Here we go. Lightning clouds come down. Really good fungals. Hold up.
Yeah, really good fungals.
It looks like the Vikings are going to win the air fight.
Yeah, and I mean, as soon as you kill all the anti-air, the best RagnaroK could get is draw, but you can't get that.
Wow, dude, that's crazy. What a game.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Really thought RagnaroK was going to be able to take that one. But Bunny, he held on. The turtle style as Terran is just so strong. And, you know, Zergs spend so much of their giant income that they gain keeping Terran in check, forcing Terran back, that sometimes you get a game like that.
Yeah.
Where it really looks like Zerg domination, but it's like they can't actually finish him.
What a great game, honestly. The map basically mined out.
Yeah, there was almost no minerals in the bottom left. Almost zero.
Well, looks like Bunny's going to take a short restroom break here.
Needed, I think.
Yeah. I feel like I need a restroom break after that.
Yeah. I feel like I need a nap.
And yeah, let's see what happens as we go into game 3 here. It's going to be the last game in the round of 10. I don't think you can ask for a more interesting endgame than that. But I do think that that was kind of thrown there by RagnaroK at the end.
Maybe.
It's hard to call.
If he
I
threw
don't know for
everything
sure.
he had into bottom left, it didn't feel like Bunny was going to be able to reclaim it.
I think so. Well,
Maybe.
it's like the whole game seemed to be set up where, all right, well, Terran is going to have a hard time fully utilizing these bases. I'm Zerg. I've got more of the map.
Yeah.
I've got the top right. I've got the bottom left. And basically, RagnaroK was doing that. And, you know, maybe it's easy for us to say because we see the whole map. We see that there's, like, almost no more minerals left at all.
Yeah.
But Bunny just went to the bottom left, landed it with an orbital. Mind you, Zerg was still mining some stuff there. And then he literally mined out the bottom left, and it was never contested.
Yeah. Well, that's what gave him enough to actually hold on and end up winning that game.
Yeah.
So RagnaroK probably kicking himself a little bit.
Well, why would he not just send everything down there and then mine from that base? He's like, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to mine from the base that has no minerals in it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, well, he clearly did not want to fight. Like, I think he thought that he needed to make, like, a much bigger, better army. And, yeah, he definitely lost his timing, you know.
Yeah.
The Terran army scales up a little bit better in that, like, Supreme Light game.
Well, you kind of see the difference between, and look, RagnaroK's very good, but you see the difference between a RagnaroK and then, like, a Rogue/Dark.
Oh, Dark would have.
Where it's like, Dark would have just literally, you know, mounted so much pressure there.
Dude,
and closed that out perfectly.
If you gave Dark that position, like, Bunny's DNA would have split apart, and he would have just been mush on the floor.
Yeah. Okay, 2,000 atmospheres. Game 3, final game. Let's do this. Bunny and RagnaroK. Are we going to have an insane epic game? Are we going to have cheese? Anything's possible right now with these two.
Yeah. I mean, they might be a little bit tired at this point. We're getting a little bit later into the night. That was a long, tough game.
Bunny flew in from Spain last night. He's tired. He's missing tapas. Guys, let's go to game 3.
I came for war.
Team NV, Bunny.
Bunny.
Alpha X, RagnaroK.
So this is the first game that RagnaroK's going to go for hatch first.
Oh, yeah, look at that. It's like, well, Bunny's really here to play, whether he can take my spot or not.
Yeah.
Let's play a little bit more greedily.
I don't imagine we're going to have anything too aggressive from Bunny. I guess we did actually have Marauder Hellbat.
Yep.
I almost forgot about that.
Yeah.
Sometimes these things that seem like they're going to kind of highlight the entire early game and everything throughout turn out to be almost, irrelevant by the time you get a game like Game 2 back there.
Yeah. You know, sometimes you have openers where you're like, ooh, this could go sharply in one direction, but the longer a game gets, the more things that can go right and wrong for both players, right?
Yeah.
And so you get these positions where you're just like, dude, how did we even get here, you know? StarCraft is really like real life, man. How the hell are you and I sitting here right now?
It's crazy. Well, we
Yeah.
mined out the whole map before StarCraft 2 came out. We
Yeah,
just
that's
sat
true.
here. That's how we did it, Artosis.
No one could attack
We
us.
came in Korea and basically landed our orbital over at that bottom left base and just hoped
Yeah.
that nobody else would take it. And there we are.
Oh, Reaper coming out. SCV did do the primary scouting as well, seeing that it was hatchery first. RagnaroK insta takes that third. No blocking from a Reaper or anything. That's kind of nice.
And so now we wait and see what kind of tech is going to come here from Bunny. Could we have RagnaroK do a Nidus, maybe? It feels like sometimes he's addicted to Niduses. It's like the spice in Dune. And then other times he's just not...
He was, but I feel like we haven't seen it as much now.
I feel like it was Season 1 we had several games of it.
We had a lot of proxy hatch from him for sure.
Man, I can't believe... I feel like we almost never get a game like that last game. Like, where really everything's almost mined out. Usually it's like one guy gets the last space and it ends.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I go years without casting a game like that. Literally.
Maybe. I guess I don't look at that, what we just saw, very differently from one where we get down to one base that they fight over and that decides it. Like, I look at those two games almost exactly the same.
I guess for me, just seeing that much of the map mined out, it's like, well, this is how far a game can go on this map. We've been to the edge of the earth. We know it's there.
Yeah. I think this year we did have one game that fully mined. I'm trying to... Maybe that was the last year. God, there's so much StarCraft, it's hard to remember every particular thing.
This has been a funny thing that's happened with us is we've casted so many games now that
Yeah.
a lot of them kind of mush together in our brains.
Yeah, we're literally over 4,000 GSL matches at this point.
Yeah.
And those are like best of threes and best of fives and best sevens in there.
Yeah. Not to mention all the other stuff we did
Oh wait, no.
in Korea now.
Is that games or is that best of matches?
It's games.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
so
actually, I don't know.
over 4,000 games.
Yeah, but then you count all the other stuff we've done.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's not our fault, guys.
All right, so Stim is coming here, and it does look like right now Bunny's going to go for just a much more ordinary opener. And that seems to be the case as well here for RagnaroK.
More powering from Bunny. RagnaroK with that Baneling Nest. Gonna shore up his defenses a bit. And I guess we'll see a couple of Evos go down, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Like it looks like it's going to be that way. Like probably Ling Bane, maybe into Ling Bane Hydra.
I think he's just gonna go Ling Bane Muto like he did in the last game.
He could.
I think that worked out so much better than this game. RagnaroK just isn't that good with these kind of like, I think these armies where we see Dark use a lot to great effect.
Almost no one is actually.
Yeah, well, I
Dark
think
is
it's much
like
harder
the
to pull
only
off.
good macro roach guy. Well, I guess Rogue has shown that he can. But I feel like when other people go macro roach, they just like get wrecked. It's like, hey, those don't hit up.
Yeah.
It's like, haha. Yeah, this feels more like a Ling Bane Hydra. Excuse me, Ling Bane Hydra to me. Let's see though.
Yeah, you might be right. We'll see. We'll know for sure when the double Evo chamber finishes up
It
here.
feels like the Spire might be just slightly late, but I could be wrong on that. You might be wrong. Like, I like Muta a lot better than the Hydra, to be honest. I think it's a lot stronger.
I prefer it. I think it makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, well, this is, you know.
There's more mobility. The Hydra's like, I mean, they're all right, but...
Well, it just seems like with the Hydras, like you have to like know exactly when they're weak and make it work. Like, and if you make it work, it's very, very strong. But if not, it's like, well, you lost the game because of that, you know? Even with Ling Muta, you can like overextend and then be like, oh, I'm overextending and run back out. Now,
Yeah,
we get to see this time around, Bunny do a push so far uncontested. So let's see how this one goes. RagnaroK should be able to hold it, but don't count Bunny's micro out just yet.
No Baneling speed yet.
Yeah, and that's the most important thing for holding the push off.
Certainly.
Counterattack!
Ooh, very quick reaction, though, here from Bunny.
Oh, that was funny. He's like, nah, let him in. Okay, now again, watch those Banes. They're not rolling yet.
No.
Probably about 20 seconds out for that upgrade.
The Marine's getting some significant damage done.
So close to finishing, though.
Yeah, you
Oh,
should be able
man.
to clean it out pretty quickly once that's done.
Yeah, so 5 more seconds and
And Bunny pulling back preemptively. He's going to see those Banes rolling and know that he needs to back up.
yeah. Might try to target the hatchery. Oh, Bane's here, ready to counterattack.
Yeah, the flank is not going to bode well here for Bunny.
I like the positioning of the Hellbats, though.
Oh, I'm surprised he doesn't just go and flank.
Well, it's kind of, oh.
Oh. Well, that is a quick retreat right there.
Yeah,
Got to
good
give it
reaction.
to Bunny there.
But at the same time, wait, where'd the Marines go?
They're dead.
I guess they
Jesus.
did. It's kind of a funny moment. Bunny's like, now I'll do my iconic 2 tanks in the medevac escape move instead of push.
Yeah, we don't see that one.
Yeah.
All right, brings it back to his reinforcements, continuing this rally push.
Okay, gonna shave off some queens here. Has to make sure you can target down those Banes. Now, I want to point out, there's a chance RagnaroK's getting a little bit too crazy with the counterattacks.
Yeah, and not just that, like, well, RagnaroK has a really good drone count right now, and he's trying to just hold this with Ling Bane, but his Ling Bane count is not that high. I mean, half a supply apiece, so even though the army supply looks low, it's still reasonable. But I feel like Bunny is whittling him down, like, pretty well.
Okay, chases this back a little bit more. Oh man, this is getting so hard. Thing is, like, this hatchery's at half health. It's easy to forget with all this other stuff happening, but like, this hatchery will die eventually if he doesn't actually knock these tanks off position. RagnaroK with the counters again here. I mean, we're starting to see the queen count thin out. Oh, kind of sloppiness a little bit on both sides there for RagnaroK. Now he's going to stim it. He's going to go for it.
Can he actually power it down?
Well,
Picks off another queen.
RagnaroK says he can because he's abandoning it.
It looks that way. Well, he is taking the bottom right, so yeah, he's giving it up. Hive has been started. Still did not choose another tech route, so it looks like he will go directly into Ultra from here. As 2-2 finishes up, that's going to be fantastic for him. Being up 2 upgrades with Bling Bane against Marine. Very, very strong.
So he took out that base. RagnaroK's grown into the bottom right. Good save over here. It's kind of funny. It's like Terran can just get to have this spot over here in the top center.
Yeah, I guess.
This is a funny game, Artosis.
Yeah, it's.
I feel like there's some of the symptoms of the end of the last game were happening with RagnaroK in this game. Where I'm like, well, you could just go kill that, you know?
Yeah, it felt like when he had the flank set up, but then he chose to counterattack.
Yeah.
I felt like that was an opportune time. Everything was getting very low at that point. Well, he finally does flank, knocks that out. Bunny trying to keep some pressure on up there, but that area not really mattering that much, to be honest. Bottom right is going to be the new area.
Oh, look at this siege tank. I'm your worst nightmare.
It's a cute little edge right there.
Yeah, for a second I actually thought it was like kind of medium ground, like that, like it was in between.
Yeah, I've casted a million games on this map.
Yeah,
and I haven't seen a tank siege right there on that little edge.
Now you know, that's what it was designed for.
Might have been, actually.
Mapmaker had that in mind. Bunny pushes through the bottom right. And now we really want to watch the center right here. 3 o'clock is an important position.
Yes, indeed it is. The Liberator comes in and starts to do some damage to the drones there. More hatches being taken, but Bunny's on top of them. Well, not anymore as the Banelings roll in.
Okay. Takes that out. Now it's going to come down to, I guess the center right base is going to live, you know? Doesn't seem like it could be contested at all. Yeah. We're getting into a pretty dramatic late game here, Artosis.
Yeah, can he hold on to this 12 o'clock base, though? His rocks are still there. The creep spread not that fantastic. Runs in and actually gets a great surround. Oh, yeah. My God, yeah.
He's got more than enough to take this.
A lot of command centers being made by Bunny. He might get into that turtle mode once again. It is a possibility. Few Hydras are being added right now, by the way, but not until after Hive. So I assume he's going to get into Lurker.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I guess you could just have a group of Hydras and utilize the Vipers with them, use some yoinks and everything.
I think it's going to be Lurker.
One thing I have to say that I liked about RagnaroK in the previous game that I haven't seen as much from the other top Zergs in Korea. Lots of blinding clouds, like more than most people.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, Dark likes Parasitic Bomb. Rogue really likes Abduct. And to see Blinding Cloud used a bit more there was really, really strong, too. Like, he was just busting positions because of it. Love to see the variety. Wouldn't mind to see that again.
Yeah, I agree. All right, 3-3 is about to finish up. Those Banes are going to pack a little more punch. Speaking of which, we're getting to the point where a comical amount of Banelings are going to be made. Now, is it possible that RagnaroK ends up, unfortunately, navigating this game into the same position as the last one? It is. Ooh, Bunny, great control.
Okay, yeah. Spire is on the way as Viper's against this. Ooh. Viper's coming out, but he gets away. No Parasitic Bomb this time. Maybe still. Oh, Blinding Cloud's going down once again. Really preferring that.
Okay, nice. Takes the base out.
Forces a cancel on the other one as well.
You know, Bunny's got a lot more to work with here, though.
Yeah. Still 71 workers. 91 here for Rag.
And Bunny's going to try to fight back all the way up here. Eye for an eye this game. But this is a dicey push. There's a lot of Banes being made. But he's committed. He's going to siege up. He's got the Liberators up here as well.
Yeah, Ling's kind of surrounding everything, though. Liberator's going to help to clean that up. He's trying to roll through those liberation zones. Very sloppy from RagnaroK here.
All right, Bane's going to come down now, try to connect with these SCVs. That was a big blow to Bunny because it seems like people lost a base in that, when he was hit, and then he lost his army in the counterattack. I think kind of underestimating his position in this game. Hey, dude, it's the bro from the last game.
Oh my God.
He's just
Finally.
using it right now. He's like, you know what? Now Bunny's going to come up again. Can he actually get rid of this base? This is kind of an insane push, to be honest.
The liberation zones are helping quite a bit.
These Hydras say, no, you cannot. It's kind of funny. He just harpoons whatever's over there and pulls it in closer.
It's a good micro, though. Using those liberation zones to kind of cover him. As Banes come in, they do get picked off. Some good connections, though. By the way, RagnaroK has re-expanded to that bottom right base, so even if he loses this one, might be able to get some drones in the bottom right.
Now this hatch is going to go down. The drones are going to have to evacuate. I think we may end up with a tension seesawing over here to the bottom right.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, because every time he tries to attack into this area now, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, more creep on either side.
So Terran can keep mining this over here. Maybe it's going to be RagnaroK kind of in Bunny's position from the last game. He might end up getting kind of starved.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. RagnaroK is definitely not being very efficient this game. Sling Banes have been getting grinded down quite a bit, but still he's got like 30% more income. So he can afford to be a little bit wasteful right now. But as Bunny starts to turtle up a little bit, we see Ghosts coming out, some more tanks. I do get a little bit fearful for him.
These guys make for some pretty insane games, man.
Yeah, they're well matched.
Now, once again, another pickup over here. Does bleed off a couple of those Marines and Marauders. Bottom right, by the way, RagnaroK's just been sitting there soaking it up. Decent defense here as well. It's not like it's, simply because it hasn't been attacked. RagnaroK actually has stuff to fight over here.
Nice parasitic bomb goes down. Just kills multiple medevacs.
So funny.
Scans get rid of that, and oh, nice pick off right there with the Hydras.
Yeah, nice catch there as well. It's weird. I feel like Bunny's getting these big wins, and then he bleeds off a big chunk of his army.
Yeah, like, I mean, we just saw like 20 supply go away.
Ghost cloaking is coming here. I gotta say, I really like the push into this base. Not even the top far left one, but the one right to the right of that. You kind of get the other base back there for free if you can hold this one. And you can also push and hit the top center as well in the process.
Oh, that would be very strong.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, anywhere you can hold. I guess he just took like the little kind of miniature base that has the rich gas at it.
Right.
So like to hold that, if he tries to take these top left bases, it makes a lot more sense than seesawing to the bottom right now.
Yeah.
It really does.
Nice denial. So, I mean, at this point in time, Bunny actually has more. Zerg cannot win. It's not the other way around. It's not like, apples and oranges. Like, oh, this guy's got more of the map. The way the two races function, Zerg has to have more of the map.
Yeah,
to
well,
be
if you're playing
viable.
like this, 100%,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You could play, theoretically, like a different style, like a Lurker, Viper type thing. More spellcasters and stuff, and maybe be even or even slightly down, but yeah, when you're playing like this with like Mass Bane, Ling running in everywhere, absolutely.
So, I mean, there's not much else to say. if Zerg doesn't actually start to try to take control of this game, Zerg is just going to dry up and die. I mean, now that being said, I think there's, for instance, this spot we're looking at right here, this is a good place to attack into. There's not that much here. But I do feel like RagnaroK might, he seems to have this kind of like late game paralysis where he like overestimates the Terran a lot, like what happened in the last game. And I feel like we're seeing a little bit of it, not right now, because I think now Terran is too strong, but I think before. I really, in my head, go back to that the first push that kind of kicked the game off. And we saw like huge numbers of Lynx counterattacking where it's like, just surround his tanks and win, man. Like, what are we doing? He has 3 tanks here.
Well, I think he would have held onto that base much more cleanly if he had done
he would have just held onto the base and the game would have gone on. Instead, he like...
Yeah, he does like his counterattacks. I mean...
Well, yeah, but there really is an art to knowing when to counterattack and how much to counterattack with. And he was counterattacking with way more.
I see what you're saying, yeah. By the way, we are really getting deep into this game right now, right? We're starting to get Spore Fields, the second Spire, Brutes coming out, +3 missile attacks.
Okay, Brood Lords are going to come out.
So Bunny, by the way, gets those top 3, top left 3 bases, like basically for free, because RagnaroK now, after taking these bases, is just sending everything down here and starting to push. He does need to clear that command center that's just to the south here, and pushing everything back here is going to help him do that.
Can he get the snipes off here? Here we go.
Yeah, not a lot of detection right there.
Yeah.
Sears coming over.
Dude, this is an insane hold from Bunny. So, Zerg's going to try to push up with the spores. Creep tumors coming up here.
And look at this turtling from Bunny, man. Like, he is getting the armor upgrades as well as 2 more factories, Thors, Liberators, a nuke.
Yeah, I think the nuke is a good idea, especially against what we're looking at right now.
Like Thor, Ghost, Liberator, some Siege Tanks, some Marine Marauder Medevac. That is a composition that Zergs are having a very hard time going in and killing. This is my favorite of when we use nukes to clear creep.
Yes.
Get wrecked, creep.
Where's your creep tumor god now? So he's going to make planetaries at all these other bases in the top left because it's hard for the Zerg to cost efficiently come in here. I think Bunny is beating RagnaroK at his own game in the last game, to be honest.
Sorry, say that
Just
again?
taking the whole map and kind of, making it hard to kind of play an econ game. By the way, 12 o'clock should be drained. 3 o'clock should almost be drained.
A lot of damage being put out with those snipes, but not finishing them yet. Down goes the planetary. This is the weirdest type of ocean, by the way. Everything floats up. It's like pieces of metal break and they float up to the surface.
Yeah.
What is this water? Like, what type of super heavy water is this? Is there a type of water that's heavier than metal? Like, mercury is liquid,
Yeah, it would depend
but it's
on,
not heavier than metal.
it would depend on the gravity of the planet that we're on.
Maybe that
don't
has
know.
something to do with it, but then if there's not enough gravity, doesn't like the water go into the sky too, or something like that?
Depends on what kind of water this is. This might not be normal H2O.
Listen, I'm a little bit of an expert on space since I saw those pictures from the new Super Hubble telescope.
Oh,
that were,
are those cool?
yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah, I haven't checked them out yet. That's my story. Now you cast. Now you go. By the way, 4 patches remaining at 12 o'clock. So this is probably, especially with the way that this is just mass Broodlords, this is probably going to be all about the bottom right here. I don't think the Zerg's going to be trying to attack it in the top left.
Seems like he's not going to bother. Although it feels like if he swings up there real quick, Zerg is quicker on creep going between this point and top left than Terran is going the long way around with his units. So I feel like there's some missed opportunities of rotating back and forth for RagnaroK where he could potentially get some damage. Oh, look at that. The mass liberation zones.
You can get it. Yeah, you can get a tank there and hit that hatchery. If I'm Bunny, I'm landing all my mules at the top left.
Oh, yes.
You're just take mules as much as you can.
Yeah. Suck out minerals from
Yeah.
everywhere. Look at all these. Like, the changelings just all march in. Now he's got Mass Broodlord and Infestor, the way that God intended StarCraft to be played.
Yeah, how we always end up back at this point amazes me.
No matter how many nerfs these
No matter
units
how
get,
many times they try to change
it's
these
like,
units.
yes, this is a good comp.
Yes. Okay. Liberation zone's coming down.
Dude, that is a lot of Broodlords.
All right, can he actually come out here and try to fight through this? He is basically wiping all the broodlings, at least for now.
But, I mean, he's getting damage with the initial volleys.
Yeah.
So even if you like aren't losing anything to the broodlings, you're losing things to the broods themselves.
Is this base mined out?
Yeah. Well, I guess there's like a little...
Yeah.
There's like a quarter on the ground there if you want to count that.
Now, I wonder in moments like this, is it better for Terran to just try to loop around to the top and go into the main or something? You want to try to meet them where they're at over here?
Oh. I mean, I think very slowly pushing is probably the right play. Just try to push him back. Any denial you can do, like the closest place you can deal damage is Bunny is those mineral patches. Notice how there's no drones there. Like, he's playing the game of denying one base now that we saw RagnaroK playing previously.
It's funny, it can be misleading. You look at it, you're like, this is the Zerg pushing it. It's like, actually the Zerg's trying to make it so he can mine from his own base.
Yeah.
Terran's actually the one with the foothold here, and Zerg's trying to break free.
EMPs go down, nice fungal there.
This is going to be another 3-minute game. We're almost there.
Oh, at least Tasteless. At least. We're not mined out yet. There's a lot to be done. 5K, 7K for Bunny.
Dude,
5K, 4K.
he has no overseer here. He's going to hit the drones. He's going to hit the drones.
Where?
And the hatchery's really low. Up, 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 up. In the middle, yeah.
He's not going to hit anything.
Sorry.
He damaged the spore.
He literally, it was the most anticlimactic thing ever.
Yeah.
He did it. He did it. It worked.
It worked. I can't even remember what that was about.
That was in
Such a
control
classic.
making fun of me because I talked about like faking. Someone did a fake Dropper Lord play with Banes.
Yeah.
And then like he made it look like it was empty, and so then they all came back, and then I'm like, it worked. And then it like killed one probe. And Jeff was off camera just yelling at me, making fun of me while I'm trying to cast this.
Oh, good times.
All right. What about the other part of the map?
All right. Well, he's going for a counterattack. Nothing else has seemed to work. What is in there?
Who knows?
I think it's 2 ghosts. I think he was trying to
like
boost in
it's
and
Bunny
EMP.
It's 2 smaller tanks. Bunny learned how to upgrade the units to be smaller, and so Bunny
Oh,
has
that's
2
level
tanks
2
in there.
smaller.
Yeah, let's level 2 small in there.
You gotta get
moving
level 3
around.
though. Imagine dropping 8 tanks out of the medevac.
8 mini tanks. They're
You
like
put them all
little
on the
action figures.
Reaper jump ledge and siege them, like everything dies.
They're little action figure sized tanks that deal full damage.
We gotta cast like that old Micro Machines guy. Remember him?
Micro Machines
Mike,
guy?
you remember the Micro Machines ads from when we were kids? That the
Oh,
guy
vaguely.
spoke super fast.
Oh yeah.
He was the world champion of speed speaking, and Micro Machines hired him to be their spokesman.
Yeah, man. That guy made it, dude.
That's the gig right there.
That guy's
You think
goated.
that we are doing some weird job, man? That
Yeah.
guy.
No, ours was some kind of crazy prison planet where we had to cast Broodlord Infestor until we're dead forever.
I was promised this wouldn't happen anymore.
Blizzard said they would fix us eventually. All right, so he's gonna try to nuke him.
Ooh, he might damage some overlords.
Oh, but what about these spores?
Nah, they'll get out of there, man. Look how quick they run. Your little spore legs running.
Watch how long this is actually going to take for this drone to kill a tank.
Dude, Bunny is hunting, man. And he's going to get him, too. He's got so much more bang.
He's on a rampage right now.
So this is the answer to the matchup. I remember Mario was screwing around with this like 3 years ago, like Thor Liberator, but now Bunny just has some ghosts in there and it works fine.
Well, he's killed part of it.
I say it works fine and then he just gets wrecked. Look at these spores falling.
It's almost as if when you have broodlings as physical objects on the ground, it becomes too strong. You know what I mean?
It sounds like crazy talk. The Thors are anti-air, but what about anti-ground? Oh God, they're getting soft.
They're getting red.
Okay, so they're both completely out of money now.
Does Zerg actually win this?
Dude, I don't know.
I can't even believe it. I can't believe it.
Hold on. Bunny still has plenty of army. He's making 7 Thors tasteless. You think those can kill 7 more?
Let's also keep in mind, dude, that drone's still going at it, man. Dude, look at that's what +3 armor on a tank does.
You know what that little drone
literally
is?
it's minutes to kill a tank.
Dude, yeah.
To be honest with you, I didn't know it was minutes. Like,
it's minutes. And that drone, that drone is creator, man. He's been working on that tank for 10 years. He's gonna get it too.
All right, so the Thors are out. It's now or never.
Oh, good EMPs, really high quality EMPs. Okay, let's see it. Okay, EMPs everything. Those infestors are garbage. They're like paperweights, but much worse because they won't even hold down paper.
Okay, so he's starting to kill this off. I think he did it. There's justice after all.
Bunny with the fist pump.
My God. My God, man. What a way to end the evening.
Yeah. Now, I'm fairly certain I know, because he seems very happy, so it's making me second guess myself that he took over RagnaroK's second place. But I believe it goes points as a tiebreaker before a head-to-head. But I guess we're about to learn exactly how that goes.
GG. Both these guys exhausted after that, man.
Yeah. Well, RagnaroK put out some good games, but it is getting harder and harder to kill Terran players.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Bunny, though, really controlling the map. Divide and conquer. RagnaroK fought back fiercely. Again, somehow we always end up with Broodlord Infestor no matter how they try to fix the game, man.
Dude,
it's so funny.
Yeah, you have to literally remove one of the units.
I think so. All right, guys, interview time. How's Bunny feeling? Let's find out.
Wow, in a long neck-and-neck match, Bunny defeats RagnaroK, and he's the overall second place of Group B. Congratulations, Bunny. Thank you. Wow, Bunny, we were wondering if you can actually make it to GSL in time. But today, you acquire 3 wins and you advance to second place. How do you feel? You know, I was seriously thinking that I'm really grateful for even having the opportunity to compete today, let alone advancing. And I think I was really fortunate. And I'm really happy to have acquired 2 wins today. But it was a hard-fought victory. Very neck-and-neck one. And what kind of things did you, what kind of points did you try to focus on in that match? I always throw my games, usually. I've been practicing the TVZ matches a lot, but during tournaments, I always rush things, and I tend to get nervous and then throw my games. And you know, I have not been practicing these days, and I think that has actually helped me play today against RagnaroK. And yeah, you know, things went really according to plan today. So, Bunny, you're saying that even though you didn't practice, you tend to think more about the game and analyze the game. So from now on, are you going to increase the amount of time about thinking about the game, not practicing?
4년 했어요. 정말 주변 게이머들이나 좀 많은 사람들이랑 했는데
I mean, I've been practicing 3 to 4 years for the past 3 to 4 years, and I think I really need to emphasize thinking about the game rather than playing it.
불안하다 보니까
And I think that's gonna help me in the long term.
억지로 좀 연습하다 보니까 항상 좀 그랬던 것 같은데 이제 알았으니까 노력해야죠.
So now that I know this, I'm gonna have to try extra harder. So Bunny, a lot of misfortunes got in your way. COVID and getting locked up insane. But despite that, you acquired a victory today. So now that you're advancing as the second place of Group B, you're going to move on to the winners bracket where you'll be playing against Maru. So it's gonna be TVT next match. So anything you want to say before this TVT match?
이번에 좀 그 걱정이랑 좀 많이 위로를 많이 받았어요.
So I made lots of people worry, and I've made them very sad.
연습 도와주신 분들에게 정말 감사합니다.
But I want to thank all the players who helped me with the scrim and practice. And what about the match against Maru?
스승이라고 생각하고 있거든요.
I think of Maru as my master and myself as a disciple.
최대한 열심히 한번
So I'm going to learn a lot from him in my upcoming match. Right, once again, Bunny, congratulations on your win today. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. What a hell of a night, man.
Yeah, and I guess at the end of it, the head-to-head did trump on everything. So Bunny will end up going ahead. Oh wait, 3-1, 2. Okay, well that just makes sense. Then. Never mind. Anyways, I think we should show this.
I love that you put that out there.
Yeah.
We're we could just wait until the screen comes. I wasn't gonna mess with it. I'm like, I don't know.
Well,
I'm still
I
not
try
gonna
to
navigate
keep
in
track,
this
but
format.
I'm glad that we only show up for 3 seconds twice during the show, so that I really can't understand what's going on. But I think I can. Okay. Anyways, Bunny goes to that winners match. As we heard, Creator and Cure are out of here. So that makes 3 Zergs, 2 Terrans, and a Protoss all advancing.
That's right. Very GSL. Round of 6 now. Again, I got my eyes on Hero here.
Yeah, I think Dark is probably favored. A lot of mirror matchups going to be coming up.
Yep, that's right.
So
And then
Monday,
no matter what, TVZ here.
Monday we are going to be having the entire round of 6, and yeah, we'll get 2 players to go
This
up.
layout is so confusing now that I'm looking at it.
It's not as confusing as the round robin groups, man.
It's like semifinals on the far right, and then round of 6 on the far left.
Yeah.
Well,
nobody knows, guys.
Nobody knows.
It's a treasure map, but no
does it
one's
make
ever found the
sense to you?
treasure. Yeah, no, it actually makes perfect
All right,
sense.
I gotta go, guys. I must be tired. Sorry. And I'm like, look at this. These names, it's just a scramble of letters. It doesn't say anything. Just watch my brain slowly fall apart.
So TVT and ZVZ. And yeah, that's that, guys. This is the next thing you're going to see from us on Monday.
Hell yeah, dude.
We're getting right to the end. We're almost there.
Yeah, we're almost over with the season. But Season 3 will be right around the corner for that. And ASL going to be announced soon.
Has been announced.
It's been announced, okay.
Starts on the 8th. TSI will be casting that, of course. So
yep.
Check that out. And yeah, it's been a long night. It's been a good night. And all I want to do is say good night.
Yeah. All I want to say is night good.
Yeah. I want to get home on the train before it closes. And thank you for watching, guys. It was fun tonight.
It was a crazy best of 3 to close it out.
Yeah, and it's nice that it actually altered who was going to advance and everything.
Yeah, yeah. But great, epic endgame matches for sure. So we'll be back. We'll be back on Monday and Thursday. And we will rapidly be approaching the finals of the season.
Yeah.
Hopefully Hero makes it,
I mean,
man.
there's only 3 days left this season.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, like 2 weeks we're going to have a champion, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
Then we're going to do another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just keep
All right.
going.
Are they going to close it out? We can close it out
so.
now, guys. We got to get home. See ya. Bye-bye.
Another
2022 GSL Season 2.